All right, so do you want your wheels to not look like this anymore? Do you want it to get from this, ew, to this? I'll walk you through some steps, some tools, and how you do it so you can get to a wheel that looks like this and this good, all right? See you in a little bit. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you have the right tools for the job. So there's a few things you're going to need. You're going to need a bucket with some soap and water, a microfiber towel or mitt. This is from Griot's, and I'll put all the links for everything that I'm using down below. There's the barrel scrub brush, the wheel scrub brush, and also this like microfiber for all the little nooks and crannies. Wheel nuts are around the brake caliper. You know, there's some like little nooks and crannies and stuff that you can't get to sometimes with your fingers and stuff like that, but you can get with that. So first thing you want to do is you want to spray it with a wheel and tire cleaner. I use the Adams wheel and tire cleaner, and I put it in this bottle here because I get it in bulk. But first you want to do is make sure that your wheel's cool, and then spray it on there and let it soak. And this is good for the wheels and the tires. This will take the browning off the tire also. And you'll see when I spray this on, and spray it on liberally, you'll see some browning coming off of the wheels. And you definitely want to get that all off. Get inside the wheel barrels, brake calipers if you can, and let it soak. Right? It doesn't take much. And sometimes what I do is I don't go 100% of the product, I go 50-50. So I put 50% water, 50% the material. And you'll see the browning just almost instantly come off of the wheel. But you'll see it, it'll come down. See all that browning right there? It's almost instant. Now I don't typically use an iron remover because I don't need to, because I wash my wheels often. Sometimes you're going to need an iron remover because you want to get rid of the iron contaminants that are from the brake calipers, the brake pads. If you wait too long, you definitely do want to start using that. But in my case, I just have to do a quick cleaning and I'm good to go. So let's first clean the wheels. Or the tires, I should say. Let's start cleaning the tires. And you'll see the soap turns into like a brown soap. And then you could rinse that off, and then you'll see all the browning that's on there? See that in the camera? So that you could rinse off and do it again, and you'll see that it'll come out white next time, right? Because you're getting rid of all that browning. And that browning is basically like all of the chemicals that are inside the wheel that eventually make it to the surface, whether it's the release agent from when they made the tire or just dirt and grime. All right, so now we clean that off. Let's do it again. You don't need much this time. And you'll see that this time when I do it, there won't be a lot of browning. And the foam turns white. There's always one spot down here that you can't get to 100%, so a tip is every now and then just kind of rotate the tire and do it. But it's only a small little section. So you can see that this is white, right? It's not the gray or the brown that was there before. All right, now you want to start getting into the barrels with this brush right here. The reason why you want to get into the barrels is because you can clean the surface of the wheel and you think it looks good, but it really doesn't. I mean, it really looks a lot better when you get into the barrels, clean off all that dirt, that grime, brake dust. And look, you can see all of the dirt that's there. It's unbelievable how brown that is. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to get as much of the barrel as you possibly can so it's clean, because when you're looking at the wheel when it's parked, it looks so much better because the sun kind of glares off of the barrel of the wheel. And it always has that, like, if you don't do this, it always has that grime that kind of just lingers. It doesn't take much, just a little bit of scrubbing. Rinse off your brush every now and then, whether it's in the bucket or now you're going to start to see the wheel cleaner that you put on originally on the surface of the wheel, like over here, start to dry up. So you don't want that to happen. So we're going to spray it again. So let that soak. You can see how much dirt's coming off of that. Do you see that? It's crazy. I mean, it's just amazing how much dirt there is. And I like using this microfiber mitt because it's got a little spot for your thumb if you want to use it, and you can get in and around all of these little nooks and crannies using this mitt. With the surface, right, all this polished aluminum. Don't forget to get in here, right, where it transitions into the wheel hub area. And you can put a little bit more, so there's a little bit more lubrication. Put a little bit more cleaner, because that stuff's pretty slick. And some people have like little brushes that they use to get into like the little areas where you have, you know, the symbols and wording and stuff like that on the wheels. But in this case, we don't have many, if any, just this AMG right here. You can kind of like hit the calipers, do the best you can with that so that that looks cleaner. Top of the caliper, inside the little divots right here. Kind of get into the corner here between the tire and the wheel. Hit the wheel again. Clean your... Now I'm using a grit guard here so you can see how dirty this is. The water's getting real dirty. And this is only one wheel. Can you imagine if I do all four? So you definitely use a different wheel bucket, cleaning bucket, than you do for the car. Don't mix them up, because there's a lot of dirt and grime that comes off of this. It's crazy. Long overdue. All right, let that soak. And this brush used to kind of get in kind of close on the back side of your wheel, in through here. You can see how dirty that is, right? You can do a little bit better of a job like behind the caliper or in front of it. And then on my other car, you can get into where the lug nuts are, get in a little closer, but on this one, they kind of rise to the surface so you can't get in there. So that's where a little bit of a different brush might work. So let me grab that. See, this is like this little brush right here. This one's from Chemical Guys. I don't like this one too much because the hairs tend to come off. And when you're detailing a car, you don't want that to happen. But for this case, it's fine. I use them on the wheels. I don't use them on the car. And you can use this for any words, badging, whatever you have. All right. I think we're in pretty good shape. I think what I want to do now is rinse it off and then see what it looks like. All right, so much better. I think what I'm going to do now is just blow dry it and put the dressing on. For dressing, I use Adams graphene tire dressing. This stuff works great, and I use this Adams Polish wheel dressing applicator. Put a little bit on there. Now this is somewhat dry. You can place it on there. Go around the entire wheel. Get in close. Kind of use the edge of this to get in close between the wheel and the tire. And again, the tip is rotate the tire a little bit, move the car about a foot or two so you can get that missing spot. Because there's always a spot you miss at the bottom. And then you don't have to go heavy with this. Kind of get in the little grooves. If you want it to be a little bit more matte, this will lighten up a little bit and it'll absorb into the tire. But if you want it a little bit more matte, you could take a microfiber towel and just wipe it down and it'll make it less glossy. But this is not bad. This is kind of OE look. That's why I always liked it. And you let it cure and it basically stays on there for a few weeks. So yeah, came out pretty good, right? Big difference from before. Do all 4 tires. You know, typically I clean the tires first before I wash the car, come in afterwards and then do the dressing. And that's it, that's how you clean it.